Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 996 of our daily content streak. This is the week. We will be hitting 4 digits. I am scared. But that is for another day. Today we need to do our news roundup, and that is going to begin with some updates on some upcoming Transformer movies. So for starters, there is a rumor that Stephen Caple Jr., who is the director of Rise of the Beast, is stepping down and will not be doing the Transformers G.I. Joe movie. I thought Rise of the Beast, like, direction-wise, was an improvement over the Michael Bay live-action films. Granted, I still think it felt a little bit too much like what we have already gotten before, but that's more the writing problem than the directing problem. Directing, I thought it went fine, so it's unfortunate, but also, I think because we went with Michael Bay for so long, it's good to try and cycle through and see if we can't find a better fit that can bring something fresh to the franchise. So I don't necessarily mind it, but it would have been nice if he stayed as well. This is like an either-or thing. The other update is a little bit more interesting. So apparently, said Transformers G.I. Joe movie is looking to put Chris Hemsworth in as the star. Now, we know he's playing Orion Pax in Transformers 1, so he is going to be a brand new voice of Optimus Prime on the big screen. And I don't mind his vocal performance in the movie. I think for a young Optimus, I think he sounds pretty spot on. There's no guarantee that he's actually going to be, like, the new voice of Optimus Prime. We do acknowledge Peter Cullen is very up there in age. It's why he doesn't do the shows anymore, because he just can't do, like, a 26 script job at this point. So I can understand, like, if that is the case, but it seems more like he might be stepping into, like, something on screen. I don't think they're going to do away with Cullen in the movies just yet. So, I'm curious to see what role it is actually going to be playing. If he's going to be Duke, if we're actually going to get a Duke in the live-action movies, that would be nice. Don't know. We have yet to see. I'm sure we'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out eventually. But that's movie news. Let's go on to actual toy talk. So, we got a look at a bunch of new stuff. So, taking a look at the stock images for the Transformers One Prime Changer Bumblebee. Yeah, it is a cool looking figure. It's not a bad Bumblebee, and we can see on the back of the box the gimmick that they have, where you can actually remove the chest piece and you can see the T-Cog inside, which is not a bad little thing. If the T-Cog is also removable, so you can show, like, an approximation of, I guess, B127 before he got the cog, that would be cool. I would like that. So it's not a bad gimmick. I'm staring at that removable armor gimmick, and I'm looking like, Hasbro, that, but on battle damage figures, so I can have nice-looking toys and battle damage if I want it. Please. Jurassic Park was doing this gimmick in the 90s. It's not a difficult one to figure out, and it's simple to do. But we also got to look at all 4 of the first wave of deluxes in package, and that includes a small look at the Sentinel Prime toy. Yes, he is the blue bot that's being it's being grappled by the Quinta-san in the trailer. He does have something very akin to how the Bumblebee movie Tetrajet design, which is an interesting choice for, the previous Autobot leader to Optimus Prime. It does very much look like they could retool this into, like, a Starscream, which, knowing Hasbro, I'm pretty sure that's the intention in the first place. At the moment, he kind of looks like this weird Tetrajet dirge. Weirdly enough, when you see all 4 in packaging, it's kind of weird how small Optimus Prime is. Look how tiny Orion Pax is compared to everybody else. Even Bumblebee seems to take up more of the box. I don't know if that's a perspective thing or not. It's a weird thing. But no, those look neat. Those look fine. I'm looking forward to the movie. I'm looking forward to the toys, because they seem like they're doing a decent job, and they're definitely a unique aesthetic. We also got a better look at the battle mask that's coming out that is Optimus Prime or Orion Pax based. Again, these transforming masks are probably one of the more ridiculous things they've ever come up with, but it makes sense for the franchise, so why not? Yeah, it just looks fine. It does look a little bit weirdly proportioned in robot mode. Also, the mouth plate of the helmet seems to form his butt armor. I hope I'm mistaken about that, but that's what it seems like. I don't know. This is once again like a case of like Hasbro, please. You have so many people that know how to work Transformers. Please let someone take a decent stock photo so you're not promoting something that looks kind of garbage, because this looks kind of garbage in this pose. This could have been way cooler. But no, these are silly figures. They're very large in robot mode, which is another benefit. Here's the Bumblebee as well, but the Bumblebee is just a repaint of the previous one. We also got to look at the robot battlers a little bit closer. We see a battle-scarred Megatron, which is interesting. We didn't see that scar at any point on his chest in the movie trailer. Yeah, and you see how they work, just like these toys have always worked. You spin them around, they thwack each other with their loose arms, and eventually one falls off the pedestal. The fact that they can also transform actually makes that kind of cool too. Let's see, I might have misarranged. Yeah, I misarranged a little bit here. So let's actually go over to Takara, where they also showed off, a little bit for Transformers One. Nothing too exceptional though. This is the what is it? The Ultimate Energon Optimus Prime, or Energon Power, whichever one. This is the shoddy looking one that's there for the gimmick, which is unfortunate, but hey, gimmicks are what they think they need to do to make toys interesting to kids, so let's see how this one does. It's giving me like weird, like mainline Prime Optimus vibes with all the translucent parts in his arms. That's a little bit odd. And yes, I'm not going to harp on the translucent plastic. It makes me nervous, but I will leave it. They also showed off a bunch of this. This is a lot of the kind of stuff that we have seen Hasbro put out for Transformers 1 as well, so it's nothing terribly exciting, but this is how Takara took a look at it. So there's the one-step Bumblebee. He is, remember, these are reversed. So they start in robot mode, and clicking them changes them into vehicle mode. So while he still has that same familiar switchblade aesthetic that a lot of these one-step changers have had for like close to a decade now, this one at least has a new trick to it. Seems like Wheeljack has the exact same type of effect. We at least get a close-up look of how he is. I don't even know if he really is in the movie yet or not, or if they're just putting out the toy for the sake of putting out a Wheeljack. But if he's in the movie, cool. Yep, works the same way. And then there's our closer look at the Deluxe Optimus, or is it the one-step, or is it the Warrior? I am losing track of how many different iterations of Optimus and Bumblebee are coming out for this movie. It doesn't look bad though. So here's the Alpha Trion. So I guess is their take on Deluxes, because remember, these are closer akin to like Cyberverse and Earthspark Deluxes rather than like mainline. Which I guess this is the mainline. Yeah, but Orion looks fine. Orion looks cool. So that's what Takara had as far as Transformers 1 goes, but they showed off quite a bit this week. They also showed off their packaging for the Missing Link, Bumble, and Cliff, both looking very retro and very good, similar to Optimus Prime. Different artwork on the front to kind of give you the idea of like, these come with weapons now, and they have a lot more posability. Really cool to see the updated artwork. I do really like that. And I like the comparisons to the original boxes. Everything else about it seems like it's pretty well matched. We also get to see a breakdown of the die-cast parts that are going to be part of this set. And you can see the head panel is die-cast, as are the connecting shoulder pieces, and a little bit of in the thigh, which is an unusual spot because it really just looks like a metal gap filler. Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd spot. But it's gonna give the toy a little bit of weight. I wish the weight was in the feet. Like, die-cast in the feet on this toy would have been perfect for how large those feet are. That really would have given it a lot more stability. As it is, I don't like die-cast being put in like upper parts of the body where it just seems like it's there for the sake of being there. Like, what does making the head panel die-cast do for anything? Oh well. But yeah, at least there are new die-cast parts that I don't believe were part of the original toy. I don't remember any die-cast being a part of Bumblebee before. We also got to see what the inner packaging is going to look like, because they showed off the styrofoam design. Screw the environment, I guess. So they are showed off. Yeah, we have some new. We have the styrofoam packaging in the box. It's exactly like it was on the original toy. They have even replicated that. The only difference is there are going to be extra grooves carved in to hold the weaponry. And you also get a set of sticker sheets, which, fascinating enough, comes with those really stretched out Autobot symbols they had on the package art. That's kind of a hilarious thing to be able to include. So that's fun. Their Autobot stickers are also tampographed on, but you also see there are sticker versions as well if you want to look a little bit more vintage. That's actually a pretty good idea. Yeah, there aren't any, like, anime versions of these, toy or anime based. So it looks like they're just letting you stick on the details that make them toy based, which, you know, and that's kind of a fun idea. That's best of both worlds right there. And collectible cards as well. No surprise. All of Takara's big, expensive figures come with a collectible card. Not a shock. Okay, move on. Takara showed off a couple things by accident, as in retailer leaks. And these are, we're familiar with these now. They're the super small, super crunchy photos. So we got a look at the red hoist repaint, Diaclone inspired, of course. I can't remember what we called them in the U.S. They normally stick to those names that they do. But we also have the black Ironhide. Man, they sat on doing a Diaclone Ironhide a long time. That's going to be a pretty old masterpiece toy to finally come back in now MPG. So yeah, that's actually not. It's again filler for the Diaclone fans out there. Like, I never see these Diaclone masterpieces sell very well. I'm not sure these will do well either, but they keep producing them, so I guess they keep selling. Okay, I will give you that. It also keeps normal masterpiece stuff on the shelf while they, like, really push the train bots. So yeah, I can see why. There's a lot of reasons why to do it. We also have a leak look at the new Dramatic Battle series set. The Decepticon set has already come out, and now we get to see the Autobot set. Interestingly enough, it's not a set of 3 Autobot commanders, as you would expect. It's Optimus Prime, it's Jazz, and then it's Mainframe. It is the Teletran 1 out of the Arc set, given his proper colors, or at least as proper as they can be, and still transform into a seamless Teletran 1. We've seen the Jazz toy so many times, I don't imagine there's anything they could do to it at this point that's going to make it any different from all the other releases, so that's a little bit disappointing. The Optimus Prime is the Earthrise version, and it is very much anime in deco. Does look quite good if that is what you want out of your Optimus Prime. Yeah, so he looks good. He doesn't have a trailer, though. Does not have the trailer. So you're basically looking at 2 Voyagers and a Deluxe in this set. So it's actually maybe a little bit smaller than the previous one. Yeah, like, I will be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I don't see. So, like, for Optimus Prime, like, we got the 35th anniversary Siege version, which I think does a really good job of just looking like an anime Optimus Prime. So this gets a little bit redundant for me. I know a lot of people who would be down for, like, cartoon color Optimus. I'm probably not one of them. I'm definitely not interested in another Jazz. I've already got the 86 one, and now I have the 5-pack on the way that includes the all-opaque plastic version, which is going to be my preferred Jazz. So the only thing in this list, the only thing in this set I'm actually think is really interesting is the Mainframe, which is, you know, in contrast to the other set where it's like everyone gets a premium paint job, or I don't know. Maybe I need to see more of the Jazz. Maybe I need to see pictures that aren't crunchy like this, but it is at very least nice to know there's going to be a way to get Mainframe. Because I'm not going to lie to you. If they had just released the Mainframe individually, I probably wouldn't have been interested in the Arc. Not going to lie. Okay, what else did Takara Tomy show off? Oh, they also showed off their new Earthspark toys, which is going to be our Earthspark toys as well, but for some reason, because Hasbro does absolutely no marketing for Earthspark, this is the first time we're seeing the new toys that are on the way. That includes this deluxe version of Jawbreaker. Unlike Thrash, this is not a retool of the Warrior class. This is all new engineering. This is all new sculpting and molding. And he does look great. They've gone pretty heavy on the paint for an Earthspark toy. Beast mode also looking really nice. Of course, this is the Takara release, so you are going to see a heavy amount of paint. Do really like how it turned out, though. He looks pretty good. He looks pretty good. A little bit more solid, a little bit more robust than the original. Yeah, I'm an Earthspark fan, so I'm probably going to be aiming for this. Here is Takara's version of the new hashtag toy. We know this is coming out as a warrior class in America. They're going to sell it as a deluxe in Japan with some extra paint and I may potentially some extra weapons, I think. The interesting part to this one is they've removed the port on the top that would allow it to connect to the Cyber Combiners and the rest of the warrior class figures. So that's an interesting one. They've actually removed a gimmick from the American version. That's different. Still looks good. I do like the new alt mode for hashtag. Yeah, she looks good. They showed off their take on the Elita 1. Again, it is a warrior class that has been upgraded to deluxe, not only with a ludicrous amount of paint for an Earthspark toy, but they have also given her a spare gun because they have I think they give her 2 guns because they retooled her right arm to not have the flip around gun gimmick, which I think is a good move here. I don't know if I'm invested enough in how the toy looks to buy Takara's upgrade. I think if the windshields on the side of the car were painted along with the front ones, I'd be a little bit more interested in this. But at the very least, good to know there's a better version of the toy out there. You know, I don't foresee Elita 1 getting a full deluxe or anything like she kind of deserves, but, you know, so I guess we'd go with this. And then there was the surprise of this batch. Here's the new character for Season 2. This is Aftermath. He's a mean-looking one. There's a lot of personality in that head sculpt. There's a lot of nice personality in this design that I really, really like. He just looks really cool. He just looks really cool. Now, of course, this is the Takara version. It's more heavily painted than whatever version the Hasbro release is going to be. And it's hard to tell from these if it's going to be Warrior or Deluxe class. You can see the tow truck alt mode it turns into, spike bumper on the front, heavy winch in the back. It's a good-looking bot. It's a really, really good-looking bot. I like this one a lot. Yeah, it's good to see they're getting some more original designs out for Season 2. I like to see that. Yeah, so it's weird. It's weird that the Prowl that I was looking forward to got canceled, but Takara is proceeding with the next wave of Earthspark figures. So the full cancellation in Japan that some were reporting was not accurate. It is still continuing, at least in the toy line. We'll see how far it goes. Still wonder, why was the Prowl canceled so close to release? What happened? Okay, moving into Studio Series, we have some in-hand shots of the brand new Sky Warp. This is from our usual source of Notrab. Yeah, it's looking good. Like, of course, the movie decided to go with the gray and purple Sky Warp rather than the black and purple, so it's a lot brighter than Sky Warp tends to be. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like Sky Warp to me. It looks more like a generic Decepticon Seeker would. He also has the Blitzwing head with the gas mask front. Thundercracker had the same one, so that works. Yeah, it's not my flavor of Sky Warp, as we've noted by my recent video. But it's not a bad-looking figure. Not one I'm going to be grabbing, but if you need to complete your movie Seekers from Bumblebee, it's nice to know that they're filling out the ranks. Into non-Hasbro and Takara, there's not a whole lot left. This news week didn't really have anything silly, just a lot of reveals and leaks. So we have the brand new Flame Toys Starscream from their Kurakara Kuri line with official photos now. This one is fascinating because it's trying to be a little bit of all the Starscreams. We do have the bonus inclusion if you buy it from the right spot, which is going to include a soft goods cape, which looks like it's been wired to pose. That's great to see. Also, of course, the crown and the shoulder pauldrons. His crown looks awesome. I'm gonna say I love the redesign on the crown here. There it is as the standard Starscream look, which is the same as Flame Toys always does. Highly stylized and does look really, really cool. Yep, very much a lot of personality in this. So I said this one is trying to be a little bit of every Starscream, which is fascinating because this one also has the shoulder peaks coming down as over-the-shoulder cannons, which is very akin to, of course, Armada Starscream. Like when you can see them folded down like this, you can even see details in the chest that kind of resemble the ones Armada Starscream had. Yeah, you can see them at the top there. It's a little bit more prominent in that angle. So you've got that, but then you've got this. There's like a full weaponry mode. Look how absurdly armored, well, like heavily armed this Starscream is. And that's because he has adapted Cybertron Starscream's ideas and designs as well, along with a few extras. So like the hip cannons and the leg armor, that's new. He basically just has a super mode. For the first time, it seems like we have a Starscream with an armor-up super mode. And it makes him look more like Cybertron Starscream. So, like that's already, a super cool thing to include. So yeah, a little bit of a lot of Starscreams going into that one. It's a super cool figure. Probably going to be way more expensive than I could ever afford or justify for something like this. But it's cool to know it exists. And really, when you have a Starscream like this, where do I go with the news? Like, I'm going to leave you on that. Like I said, there was no, like, little stuff, no, like, tiny little, like, merchandise things to reveal. There wasn't really anything silly to talk about in Transformers this week. It's all reveals, and most of it from Hasbro and Takara. It's a very heavy new toy week. But you know what? That's how it goes, At least the news roundups are always a little bit different, right? So, that is what has been going on in the week. You are now all caught up. So, of course, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.